Okay, chat. Let's start doing a champion tier list. So S, A, B, C, D, F. I think that's pretty reasonable, right? Content. All right, your eyes. I know. Vlad actually can do things in his archetype. Vlad's kind of terrible. Are we just going by strongest or practicality as well? So I think that like I'm probably gonna lean towards just like pure champion strength, not necessarily their strength in the current meta, just how strong the card is, right? So like for instance, I'm probably gonna end up putting Gwen pretty high. Gwen doesn't really have like a meta deck right now that's super strong, but I'm probably still gonna end up putting her pretty high, right? Why isn't Zoe in more decks? The meta's just really fast right now, and she kind of got pushed out of the Aphelios deck because Victor was just better in like specific matchups. Force my browser into dark mode at some point. And I could do like this, but then like the colors are all fucked up. If the colors weren't fucked up, I would do that. But yeah. I should include their package? No. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Tristan and Kennen are at least playable. Okay. Let's start with Lucian, chat. God, where the fuck does Lucian actually go? Lucian's bad. Like Lucian as a card does incredibly strong things, right? Like flipped Lucian is very, very strong. But he doesn't flip very often. He doesn't have a ton of protection in Demacia that actually keeps him alive. And like the decks that he goes into are usually like ephemeral decks that just aren't that strong. I think Evelynn Lucian is like a really cool idea, but in general, I think Lucian's just like not great. Lucian's not great. It's not really Lucian's fault, but yeah. Lucian Zed used to be tier 1. I believe that. I'm playing 2-3 attack, quick attack units. Summoning Ephemeral sounds broken. Sounds broken. Let's start him here. Fiora is unplayable. Let me delete this one. Fiora is just really bad. In a game where 6-mana Vengeance exists, Disintegrate exists, Flock, Minimorph, Ruination, I think that Fiora is just incredibly bad. And it's probably a good thing for the game. Honestly, it's probably straight up a good thing for the game. I don't think that Fiora should be good. I don't think that like metagames where Fiora is good are good for the game. I don't think she's a healthy champion to be strong. So like I'm down with her being incredibly bad. And I do think that she is really bad. Garen's fine. Garen's like fine. He vibes. Like the buff where he buffs on board when he comes down is like pretty cool. And also like I don't know, he fits into a couple decks and is like fine. His big issue is that like the outgrind Demacia style just isn't really a viable option right now. It's just not close. And like everything that he does, Jarvan's kind of better. Especially since Jarvan's flipping on curve like every game now, ever since like Broadwing came out. You're able to like get his level up condition really consistently. He's just like gonna grind better. I don't think Garen's great. He's like fine. Garen's like fine. No way, Garen and Lucian are in the same tier. I think they're both like pretty bad. I think they're both pretty bad. Lux. I think Lux is really fucking strong, by the way. Lux is insane. Lux is an incredibly strong champion that kind of forces you to run like slightly bad cards. But if she sticks for like 1 or 2 turns, Lux will absolutely destroy a board. She is incredibly good. I think Lux is incredibly strong. Yeah. Braum. Yeah, I mean, Braum could come down here with the Misfits. Braum's basically unplayable. Jace is probably S, but Lux is A. I think Lux is better than Jace. I think Lux is better than Jace, for sure. Braum's really bad. There's kind of like cute things you can do where like, you know, you throw him into the Hallowed deck and like pretend that he's good. But like in general, I think Braum kind of not good. F tier? Maybe he's F tier. Is he better than Fiora? Nah, at the end of the day, Fiora's like a 3-mana 3/2 challenger unit. Like, she's fine. Like, you could just like slot Fiora into a deck and like, if you're willing to throw her away, she's like fine. Yeah, no, I think he's probably worse than Fiora. Braum's better. Braum's really fucking useless. Braum's really bad. Ashe. I think Ashe is okay. I think Ashe is like a mid champion in this game. She okay, maybe she's slightly worse than okay. She's like fine. She has her own win con. She gives you a free combat trick every turn. She's fine. She's fine. I feel about Fiora. This is how you feel about Lucian? Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't think Lucian should ever be, like, that good either. Like, he's incredibly fucking broken. I think she's B. I'm going to put her, like, right here, and we'll see where other stuff lands, okay? God, we're doing, like, all old champions first. What's up with that? Maybe I want to just grab more fun champions instead. Champions I actually want to talk about. Because, like, we could talk about how Anivia's, like, ugh. Anivia's a champion, I guess. Anivia's certainly a champion. Azir's really good. I don't know. Anivia's just, like, not great. She's, like, fine. She's Gangplank. I mean, she has, like, Gangplank ability on level 1, which is kind of cool. But yeah, no, she's just, like, not good. Tryndamere is terrible. Tryndamere is, like, really bad. I can't think of a reason to play Tryndamere in any deck other than, like, he's just, like, this big overwhelm beat stick that comes out with FTR. Tryndamere's, like, really fucking bad. You missed the D tier already? Don't worry, we'll probably move stuff around. Yeah, maybe we need to move this stuff just, like, a little bit. Okay, we swapped stuff down a little bit, chat. We'll see. Shen? I think Shen's better than Ashe. I think Shen's actually really solid. Having barrier on play helps him out a lot. And, like, the new support cards are actually, like, really good with him. I think Shen's, like, a solid unit right now. He's not insane, but I think he's, like, good. He's fine. He does his job. I think he's, like, a totally passable unit. I think he's, like, good. Shen Jarvan's decent. And Shen's, like, fine. Fiora and Tryndamere are on the same level. I mean, they're pretty well separated, but, you know. And maybe Tryndamere comes up here. Zed's fine. Zed's probably, like, slightly better than Shen. Zed is just, like, waiting for the right meta, right? Like, he's still strong. There's no way Shen is... I mean, I think Shen's solid. How's Anivia better than Garen? I would play an Anivia deck long before I'd play a Garen deck. I think Zed's, like, a solid unit that's, like, really strong, and it's just waiting for the right meta. Yeah, no, I think Zed's good. He's not insane anymore. I think the last time I made this was during, like, Zed Poppy, and, like, I put him much higher. I think he's fine. He's definitely better than Shen, but he's, like, not near Lux. Yasuo's terrible. Yasuo's really fucking bad. Yasuo's below Anivia. I'd play Anivia before I play Yasuo. I think Yasuo is really fucking bad. Like, the Katarina Yasuo deck is strong right now, or is, like, relatively strong, and it has literally nothing to do with Yasuo. Yasuo just, like, actually holds that deck back. The Yasuo deck is literally hard carried by, like, Hillock plus Katarina. It's a Katarina beatdown deck that, like, genuinely wouldn't run Yasuo if it didn't have to. So, like, with that note, Katarina's really good. Katarina's, like, really good. I think she's, like, high B or, like, bottom of A. Like, she has to be insane if she's carrying a fucking Yasuo archetype, right? She has to be insane if she's carrying an archetype. I think the buff is, like, really nice for her pings, and just the fact that she's able to chill in hand and, like, threaten a rally every single turn is, like, really solid. Yeah, I think, like, top of B or bottom of A is probably where she's gonna end up. I'll slot her into A for right now, but, like, I think she's really good. And also, I think, because most decks can't play 3, the Katarina Yasuo deck right now plays 3. The other thing is, like, I think that she's very similar to, like, Lucian and Fiora, where, like, she should never be good in this game. I think she's incredibly toxic in her design. I think she is pretty good right now. She's not, like, insane, but she's pretty good. Zero-man Disintegrate activator? Yeah, Disintegrate coming out helped her a lot. Karma's really bad. Karma's, like, probably, like, slightly better than Yasuo, maybe. But, like, in the game right now, getting to turn 10's, like, really hard. She's strong when you get to turn 10. Of course, she does, like, really strong things, but, like, so is Asol. Asol's really strong when you get to level 10. Yeah. Karma's, like, fine, but bad. She's really bad. Draven is a really strong champion that once upon a time would have absolutely been S tier. But like right now, he's kind of just a role player in discard piles, right? Like, and he's good in the discard piles. Like axes are really strong. Draven forcing a block every turn is like good. He has a good champion spell. But really, he is just an axe generator right now. I feel pretty okay throwing him in like middle of B tier or top of B tier. I think he's still a good champion. He's just not nearly as good as he was once upon a time. Vladimir, I mean, Vladimir's terrible. Vladimir's really terrible. I would play Yasuo before I'd play Vladimir. Vladimir's fucking unplayable, dude. Actually, so bad. He doesn't do anything, man. He like tries to drain, I guess. And like the whole drain thing's like a cool idea, but I don't know. It feels like he's tied to a Scargrounds deck that's just like never gonna be good. Yeah, Mystic Shot tier for Draven, Lucian, LeBlanc, Zed. Nah. He has fearsome. But Vlad next to Braum. I think I'm down to put him down here. I think that's fine. Darius. Darius is a champion. He exists. Criteria for a card that sees much play as Yasuo being as bad as it is. Because I don't think Yasuo's good. I think Yasuo is genuinely fucking terrible in Infinite Patrons. I think that deck is hard carried by Katarina. And it's not even close. I think Yasuo is really bad. Darius is like fine. Honestly, I think he's probably better. He's probably like very similar to Tryndamere, I think. He like sees play in the deck that he sees play. He's not great. He's fine. But yeah. Vlad's what we call bad design? Maybe. I don't know. He could be cool. Darius goes higher than Tryndamere? Probably not. Tito. Tito. I think Tito's really good. Like, as his own champion, I think Teemo's, like, really good. He's probably not, like, up here in A tier while I'm looking at, like, the champions. But he, like, does his job. He's a 1-mana 1/1 that gives you value. He's hitting throughout the game. His decks are kind of, like, really fucking terrible right now. But, like, he's his own win con. I think he's solid. He's fine. On turn 1, he does 6 damage, which is kind of fucking broken. Kind of broken. Why does it feel so bad to get him off of ARAM? Checkmate. True. Actually true, by the way. Cat and Lux are A tier? Absolutely. Katarina and Lux are both incredibly strong. Ezreal. Ezreal's depressing, because I would literally always put Ezreal in S tier when I did these. But the recent nerfs hurt him a lot. A lot of his decks, he just isn't flipping as much anymore. And it feels really bad. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Maybe... I don't know. He's probably, like, somewhere in here. I think he's still, like, a solid champion when he flips, right? And, like, him being his own win condition is definitely solid. But he just flips so late now. I think that, like, underneath Zed and Draven is, like, a pretty solid place to be. He's, like, fine. So many elusive blockers now. To be fair, he's never really been good for, like, getting in for elusive damage. He's just there for his level 2 damage. Shot Ezreal for no reason. Yeah, Ezreal got fucked up. He's bottom of A. I think down here with Zed and Draven is, like, respectable. But, yeah. Jinx. Jinx is bad. Jinx is, like... Jinx is, like, fundamentally flawed as a champion. Because she wants you to, like, discard your entire hand. And then she will, like, give you more value, right? You know, she'll give you, like, the rocket... after you empty your hand again, she'll draw you 2 cards per turn. It'll be really cool. But, like, the issue is that she just dies. Your opponent just, like, holds removal literally forever for her. She comes down, you empty your hand, she dies, and then, like, you're just sitting there with no cards, no draw, no nothing. She's just really bad. She's really bad. She could be insane also, but yeah. I don't know. Bar Jinx was always interesting. Because, like, if she gets a couple chimes, she's kind of insane. Yeah. She doesn't have a good package or second region. It could draw reliably. I mean, B was playing the Freljord version, which was interesting. I don't know if it was good, but you know, make SSS tier for Heimer. I think Heimer's definitely like high A. Especially with Hexa Candler being in the game, I think Heimerdinger's like really fucking strong. The amount of value that he can spit out in one turn is kind of nuts. In the Heimer Jace deck, just the amount of playable 6-mana spells in the game to give you like these big elusives makes him really solid. Especially with the play cast change. Like always getting your unit is like really strong. I think Heimer's like really fucking good. I think that like he's probably like on a similar level to Lux. He might be slightly better than Lux because he's like more consistently giving you value. But I think that they're both like equally nuts champions. Flipping Jinx with Entreat is insane. He can't deny the draw too. True. Vengeance 6-man makes the entire Heimer Jace package. Yes. It definitely likes it. Play cast change was a lifesaver for sure. I mean, to be fair, I think Lux was like solid before playcast, but Heimer really wasn't. So like the buff definitely made a lot of sense, or like it definitely helped him out a lot. Elise is like really good. I think I'm down to throw her in like top of B. Like as we're filling this out, top of B tier is like really solid champions. By the way, like these are all really solid champions. Elise is good in aggro. She is good in control. She's just good. She's just literally always good. She generates blockers. She applies pressure. She's a win con on her own. Elise is like really fucking good. I don't know if she's better than Draven is like my issue, right? I'm like looking at Draven here and I'm like, is she really better than Draven? She might be. She might be better than Draven. Maybe we throw it like this. I could feel pretty okay about this. But yeah. No, Elise is really good. Elise is really good. Kalista is terrible. Yeah. 3-4 Kalista is probably better than 4-3 Kalista. But this card is just not good. She just doesn't do anything. Yeah. She's just really bad. She's just really bad. Thresh. I think Thresh is solid. I think Thresh is probably better than Darius. I think that like a 3-6 challenger is like pretty solid. He can control boards. He pressures a lot of decks. He doesn't really have his own deck right now, but I think that like as a card, Thresh is like pretty solid. He's not like insane, but I think he's good. Kalista got buffed. Only she got birthed. Oh, gotcha. Any champion that generates a card or unit should be considered A tier? Any champion that generates a card or unit should be A tier. You think Maokai should be A tier? Is that what you're saying? Interesting. Interesting. Hecarim is bad. I'd like the Hecarim change a lot. His deck just doesn't really make sense right now. I don't know. Maybe he's like better in Kalista. He's not like the worst thing in the world. He's like fine. He's fine. He's fine. Ephemerals feel so dog shit. I mean, there was the Hecarim deck that like existed for a little while. That was like fine. I think Dragon Ambush plus Stagehand like definitely helped this deck out a lot. And like it has potential. But yeah, I don't know. Hecarim's like, I don't know. Any champion generates cards you can't play in a deck normally? Oh, can you play Sapling normally? You can't main deck Sapling. Yo, what's up, Mo? How you doing, bud? Play Multiverses with you? Yo, maybe later, Mo? Maybe later? I'd have to download it. I haven't played it. Jinx is A tier? Jinx is not A tier. Quinn. I think Quinn's, like, fine. I think Quinn's, like, pretty solid, honestly. I think middle of B tier is probably fine. Like, realistically, it's Valor on a stick. But, like, Valor's a really good card. Especially with the buffs. Like especially with, like, Inspiring Light and, like, For Demacia. They kind of turn Quinn into, like, a huge problem. I don't think she's insane, but I think she's a lot better than a lot of people give her credit for. Play Rocket League with you? I don't play Rocket League. Imagine playing Rocket League. It's all MF, to be honest. It's really not. It's really not. Please tell me that you don't actually play scouts without telling me you don't actually play scouts. It's just not a draw MF deck anymore. Straight up. Like, Quinn and Island Navigator are almost better than MF in, like, a lot of situations. Not literally better, but they're at least as good. Yeah. Scouts is 1000% MF or bust deck. It's really not, though. It's just, like, super not. I get that, you know, you're pandering to the audience, Mo. I see that. You want, you know, like, the Twitch chat to, like, come and support you. You want, like, Reddit points. I get that. I understand that, man. I understand that. I want to be honest with people and tell them that, like, scouts is totally fine without MF. Need them to rally against me? Based. Sejuani? Sejuani's, like, really solid. Like, the vulnerable on play is good. She has a really big body. She doesn't really have a deck right now, but her ability to, like, lock down boards is, like, pretty solid. I think Sejuani's, like, a strong card that just doesn't really have a home right now. I think Sejuani's A tier. I think she's really strong, but she just doesn't have a home. Literally no one knows who you are. Plus short, plus bald, plus... Yo, come on, Mo. Be nice, man. Be nice. Mo doesn't keep Sculptor in his mulligan? Wait, Mo doesn't keep Sculptor in his mulligan? I know he doesn't against Ionia Bard, right? That's what his tweet was about. Swain. I think Swain's okay. He said against Bardari, yeah. I think Swain's alright. Swain kind of has the issue of being tied to Leviathan, and Leviathan's just, like, really expensive and doesn't do enough on the turn that he comes down. I think that, like, just because Swain is, like, 5 flocks, like, that's pretty solid. He has the potential to lock down boards. If he ever hits face, you basically win the game. I think Swain's fine. He's not crazy. I think that, like, he potentially could be later on, but, you know, especially with, like, Lecturing Yordle getting nerfed, yeah, I think Bandle Swain was kind of, like, the best that Swain's been in a long time. And he, I don't know. Bandle Swain getting nerfed was really depressing. I like Swain a lot. Someone said you're an idiot. Scrim 3 games every game. Sculptor did literally nothing for him. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't do anything if your opponent doesn't have to block, right? Or doesn't have to interact with your board. Yeah, no, you're definitely right. You're like 100% right. Lose the 1-mana generate spell. Put him in Z tier. Imagine thinking that, like, you know, Invoke Targon exists right now. Maokai. Maokai's a champion, I guess. How low can I put Maokai, chat? Maokai's just, I don't know. He generates, like, the challenger units, which is, like, kind of cool. And, like, you know, he exists in deep. That's kind of cool. But he's just not good. He just doesn't do anything. Be honest with the people, how often do I scrim versus Targon? Because Jordan's on my team? Jordan's not always on the Targon train. Come on. But yeah, I don't know. Maokai's like, he's a role player. He exists, but he's not great. He's really bad. Vi's really good. Vi's, like, really good. Just being able to be, like, this massive body that your opponent has trouble dealing with, pressures backline constantly. Yeah, no, I think Vi's just, like, a really strong champion. I don't think she's insane, but she's just, like, she's a lot like Elise, where she's just incredibly strong. It can go in, like, a lot of different decks. I think Vi's just really good. But yeah. A tiers already, too. Vi's underrated. Give back 5 health Vi? No. Chat, you can't add health to tough units. You cannot add health to tough units. It's not good for the game. It's just straight up. Can we compare 5 mana Vi to 5 mana Kaisa? Well, 5 mana Vi kills Kaisa Copium. Lucian. Lee's really bad right now. Lee's probably, like, better in Hecarim. He's probably better in Karma. I don't know. Maybe he just, like, hangs out down here. He's so fucking bad, though. Lee's so fucking bad. Is it Lee's fault, though? He just doesn't end the game quick enough anymore, right? And the Zenith nerf hits him a lot. He still gets barrier every fucking turn for some reason, though. Just realized this tier list is serious. Why is Ezreal not an F tier? What do you mean? Ezreal's fine. Ezreal's fine. Yeah. I don't know. Lee's really bad. I'm not upset with Lee being bad, by the way. I fucking hate Ionia decks. And I hate the fact that this motherfucker gets barrier every single turn for some fucking reason. How's Darius on this list? They actually recently added him to the game. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Fizz. I think Fizz is, like, really good. I don't think he's, like, S tier good. But I think he's, like, really good. Maybe this is it. You know, either as just like a target for Papercraft, or just, you know, this you know, target for suit up, target for any amount of buffs. Just the fact that he's able to be like basically invulnerable is really valuable. Do you Recovium supplier earlier? That shit, as you said, Ezreal's fine. You need something. I mean, I think Ezreal got over nerfed, but like, you know, unnerfed Ezreal's like fucking S tier, right? Fizz must be S. Fizz is like fine. I don't think Fizz is like better than Lux and Heimerdinger. Like if we put Papercraft on this list, yeah, Papercraft could be S tier. I don't think Fizz is S tier though. You don't think you've ever seen Darius in a deck ever? He's like a role player in those aggro decks, right? Or in overwhelm decks. He's fine. Where's Bard? Smiley? We haven't gotten that far yet. We haven't gotten that far yet. You see, Bard all the way down here. You have to milk the content, okay? Faint would disagree. This isn't alphabetical? Yeah. No, for some reason, whoever made this put it in order of release. So we're kind of trudging through, like, all the depression that is early champions. Until we just start throwing half the fucking cast into S tier. So, I mean, that's going to be fun. Nautilus exists. Nautilus is actually, like, really strong on his own. Like, he's a really strong champion. Like, the -4 cost on, like, everything is really strong. He has the issue of just like being able to be 6 mana Vengeance or 4 mana Crumbled, 5 mana Crumbled. I don't know how much Crumble costs anymore. He just like dies to everything. But like as a champion, he's strong. I'm down to throw him like here because I think he's better than a lot of these champions, and just like what he does for his archetype is really strong. His archetype's just like really weak to a lot of things. Here you see where I put Rumble. Gangplank. Gangplank's like really strong if you flip him on curve. And if you don't flip him on curve, he's fucking terrible. If you aren't like flipping him on turn 5 or turn 6, he's just bad. But like even as just a keg generator, he's fine. I'm not throwing like mid tier. I think there are definitely metas where I would throw him higher up. Just because like how much you're able to flip him on curve is really important. And like the Crackshot Corsair nerf like definitely hurts Gangplank decks. Yeah. Where'd 5/5 Gangplank be? I don't think it would change that much. Maybe it'd go up a few spaces. TF is S tier. Do I need to explain it? TF is literally just S tier. TF is fucking broken. He's so fucking good. Just the amount of flexibility that you have, the amount of value that he gets you, the win condition. You could throw TF into any type of deck. TF is just so fucking good. I love TF's design. I love everything about TF. And he's fucking broken. And he belongs in S tier. Misfortune is S tier. Misfortune's fucking insane. This champion's just absolutely cracked. She flips, you win the game. She is a must answer. Also, she just nullifies all the blockers and like also hits face. MF's just fucking broken. I think she's like bottom of S tier. Like when we end up filling this out, I think she's gonna end up over here somewhere. But like as it is, I'm down to just toss her in S tier. She's really good. Not gonna play TF Shyvana then? Thank you. I got you, buddy. Taric is a champion. Taric at least has like the rally cheese, right? Rally cheese from Taric is like pretty strong. But yeah, he's fine. Sometimes like the double draw is cool. He exists. If you do slam rally on him, like you're basically winning that game. But he's pretty interactable. He's not great. What's being ranked right now? Champions in Legend of Runeterra. Lulu. I think Lulu's fucking broken. I think Lulu is genuinely a broken champion. The amount that she does for being a 3-drop is like so fucking good. She turns like your small drops into like must blocks. She, especially combined with Chompers, just absolutely demolishes a board. I think Lulu's actually a fucking broken champion that doesn't get acknowledged for some reason. I think she's really nuts. Based on their own or based on decks that built around them? Not based off of decks currently in the game. Like, you know, that would be boring, right? Because then I'd just be like, oh, well, you know, Kaisa has the most decks, so she's top of S tier. But it's more on like their own strength. But yeah. Strong Lux and Heimerdinger? I think so. I think Lulu's fucking insane. I think Lulu's genuinely just an insane champion. Lulu on the release was understat. Yeah, she was like a 2-3 or something, right? Second Lulu. Whimsy's also really good, especially in this meta. But yeah, she was a 2-3. She was a 3-man 2-3 on release. Yeah, I think Lulu's broken. Trundle is really good. Trundle just comes down. He blocks. Pillars are really strong. He's still in win con. Trundle's just really good. I don't think he's broken, but he is really good. This is the best card that's supported in its text? Probably. It's on their own strength. Why is Lee so low? Because Lee's just unplayable. He's just way too slow. Nocturne. I think Nocturne's alright. Like, as a champion, I think Nocturne's really strong and, like, gives a really strong win condition to Nightfall. Nightfall's not a great deck right now, but I think Nocturne's a really strong card. Yeah. Trundle controls the board so well. Pillars are just broken. Trundle's worse than Katarina. Yeah, I think Katarina's really strong. She can't be the best support when Mussy exists. Damn true. Yeah. No, I'm fine throwing Nocturne like middle of B tier. I think it's solid. Leona? Leona's okay. I think she's probably going to end up like down here somewhere. You know, may hang out with Taric. Hang out with her other Targon friends. She's alright. She's fine. Her archetype isn't great, but like a 4-mana 3/5 that stuns on play isn't that bad. She has her own win condition later on. F? Wait, why are we F'ing? Oh, you want to put her in F tier? Oh. No, I don't think Leona's F tier. I think she's like totally fine. She's not like broken, but she's like totally fine. Tips on how to beat Silver Kaisa. She seems to run over you. Kaisa good, homie. I don't know. Kaisa really good. Daybreak Windcon? Yeah, it's stunning all your opponent's shit. Diana. I'm down to put Diana, like, I don't know, bottom of C tier. She's alright. She does her job. She's kind of been power crept in this game. Like, having Challenger and Quick Attack is cool, and, like, the change to her where she can keep getting Challenger at level 1 is, like, also really cool. But, like, in general, she just doesn't really hit any decks. She's just not really doing much in the meta right now. She just doesn't do enough. She's fine. We tier listing? We are tier listing. What's up, Spider-Mention? A-Soul. A-Soul... A-Soul's, like, good when he flips. But, like, being 10 mana kind of ruins everything about A-Soul, right? Yeah, A-Soul's just, like, kind of unplayable right now. He's just 10 mana. He doesn't end the game on the turn he comes down. He kind of does. But yeah, A-Soul's just not great. A-Soul's just not great. In the same way that, like, Star Shaping is just way too fucking slow and kind of a bad card right now, Star Shaping on a 10 mana stick is kind of bad. What do you mean? A-Soul's 10 mana? Your peak opponent always drops it on 5? True, actually. True. Tom Kench. I think Tom Kench is like a really toxic champion that's really strong when played in like control shell. I don't know if like the meta really like leans that direction, but I think that like Tom Kench is probably like an underrated card. I think that he's like a lot stronger than a lot of people give him credit for. He's not great, he's not broken, but I think he's a really toxic card. I think he's really toxic and pretty strong. Soraka? I think Soraka's broken. Honestly, I think Soraka's a fucking insane card. The amount that she draws is actually insane. Just the absolute draw engine, the absolute monster that Soraka is. Soraka's fucking broken as a card. She doesn't hit any decks right now, but I think that Soraka as a card is actually really strong. Really strong. Shyvana certainly is a card, I guess. She certainly is a card. Shyvana exists, you know? That's the nicest thing I can say about Shyvana. Victor is probably S tier. I think Victor's really strong. He gets absolutely massive very quickly. He's his own win condition. He blocks really well. Having 4 health is like such a huge boon. What's Soraka good with right now? Kind of nothing. She doesn't hit any decks, but I think she's still really strong. Shyvana B. Shyvana is really bad. Shyvana just like doesn't end the game. She doesn't do anything. But yeah, I think Victor's really, really strong. Plus like the free augment proc is really good with the Aphelios. Victor's just a really strong card. Victor's not S tier. I think Victor's S tier. Victor's A. I think Victor's S tier. I think he's really fucking strong. Zoe. I think Zoe's S tier. I don't think she... I think that, like, with the way that the meta's shifted, she's not as good as she once was. I think that I probably would have put, like, Zoe Akshan as, like, number 1 and number 2 for, like, the entire life of the game as long as they've been out. But I think that, like, TF is probably better than her. She just isn't as much of a consistent win con as she was before. She still always trades up and always generates value and is still an incredibly strong card. But I think she's less good than she was. But yeah. Bring Zoe back. Nah, Zoe didn't really go anywhere. Riven? I think Riven's really strong. Like, Riven does Riven's thing really strong. She sets up OTK. She's like the OTK combo queen. That is all that she does. And she does it really well. The way that she consistently shows OTKs on like turn 5 or turn 6 is actually crazy. Yeah, no, I think Riven's like really good. Like really good. TF would be the strongest if he ever flipped. I don't think he's the strongest in the game. I think he's really close though. I mean, he does flip, depending on your deck. And also he's good even without flipping. How's Trundle A? He's really solid. He has a massive body. Regen's really good. Pillar's really good. Trundle's just really good. Trundle's really good. So surprised by MF at S tier? MF's broken. MF's really fucking broken. Okay, we're getting into the fun cards. Aphelios. Do I even need to say anything about Aphelios, man? Aphelios has the TF thing, where no matter what, even if you shoot him on sight, he still generates value. Every single one of his weapons is incredibly good. Like 2-mana deal 3 is so good at value and at tempo. Gravitum is also really good at tempo. Crescendum is really good at value. Severum is really good at value. And Overwhelm, I can't think of what it's called, but it's also like really insane. I think every single one of his weapons is incredibly good. If you leave him out there, he will fucking 1v9 games like so many champions just can't. Infernum? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I think Aphelios is like probably top 2 champions in the game right now. Aphelios is fucking insane. Fucking insane. He's also like, he's also kind of a difficult champion to play, and has a lot of nuance. So I like that he's good, but he's probably too good. Renekton. Renekton. I mean, everything you say about the boy, man, what is there even to say? Fucking yep, croc all the way to the top, baby. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Jarvan. I think Jarvan's alright. Especially with like the Broadwing being introduced to the game. He's much more consistently able to be flipped. His big issue is that like this outgrind Demacia mid-range style just isn't really viable in the game. It's just like not a reliable way to actually win games, right? I don't think that he is a champion's bad. I just think that like his win condition in this game right now isn't good. I would probably throw Jarvan somewhere down here, but know that he's like not a bad champion. Jarvan's like really strong. Show Croc. All right, I'll show Croc. Silently move Renekton down to B. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Jarvan C. Where do you want him? You want him higher or lower? Yeah, no, I think Jarvan's good. Talia. Talia's really fucking strong. Talia forcing 10 damage, forcing blocks or dealing 10 is really good. She's able to fit in so many different decks between Thralls or Ziggs Talia. I think she's really strong. I am willing to throw Talia. I think right there. I think like bottom of A. I think Talia's like really good. I think she's like consistently underrated for how much she does for the decks that she exists in. I think she's really strong. Yeah. Lissandra. Yeah. Lissandra's fucking broken, dude. Lissandra's fucking insane. She has too much text. She has way too much text, dude. She does so many things. She generates a landmark. She generates free ice shards. She generates tough nexus. That's not really a generation, but you know. She generates Watcher in hand. Lissandra does so many things. She's also a great blocker on curve. She's never dying to like anything on turn 3. She's actually fucking insane. I don't think that she's as good as like Twisted Fate, but I think that she's like so strong in the decks that she's in that like she's just insane. I think that like TF and Aphelios have the power of being incredibly versatile on top of being incredibly strong. But yeah, she's kind of like, I don't know. I fucking hate Lissandra. I fucking hate Lissandra. She's not versatile? Yeah, I agree. Your Nexus everywhere, gain top? Please no. Please no. Nasus. Nasus isn't great. Nasus isn't great. Like with Fearsome, he's better than he was. And like when he flips, he's still pressuring stuff. But like if you want a spell shield win condition, just play good units instead of Nasus, you know? I don't know. I don't know where to put Nasus. Probably somewhere down here. He's like fine as a champion, but I don't know. He's just not that impressive right now. Kindred. I think Kindred's all right. Kindred's not crazy. Kindred can like tear apart boards sometimes, and if you don't have a way to answer Kindred, Kindred can like really ruin your day. But also they're just not great. They're like fine. I think I'm down to throw them in like the middle of the C tier. They're fine. They're fine. Is Ashe tier? Yeah, Ashe tier. Sivir. Sivir's broken. Sivir's really fucking good. And has been really fucking good ever since they changed her level up from 35 to 30. She is a 4 mana 5/3 with quick attack and spell shield that when she flips, wins you the game. Sivir is really fucking good. Yeah, she just applies so much pressure on her own. Her stats are insane. She has quick attack, spell shield, and she's her own win condition. She's fucking nuts. Sivir's just a broken card. Genuinely a broken card. Sivir Kaisa's a deck. She also doesn't have a deck. I mean, Sivir Akshan would like still be around if Kaisa didn't get printed. And also she does see play in quite a few Kaisa decks. But yeah. No, Sivir's just a fucking insane card. LeBlanc. I think LeBlanc's like a solid card. She forces blocks. She's kind of dying to a lot, which is a bummer. But like when she flips, her being able to get the mimic thing or the copy thing on level up, like matters a lot. I think that she's like pretty solid. I think she's like down here though. Like she's, I don't know. She's maybe like somewhere in here. She's all right. She's good. She's good. I don't think she's anywhere near A tier, but like as a champion, when she flips, she does really strong things. She's just like a lot less consistent than a lot of the people above her. But yeah. Sivir S. Sivir broken. Azir. Our boy Azir. Azir with the buff where landmarks now flip him. Turns out he's a pretty okay card. I don't think he's S tier. I think like top of A. I'm happy to put him top of A. I think that he's like really strong. He's still his own win condition. He splashes into multiple decks. He's pretty versatile. But he's not as broken, I think, as a lot of the cards above him. He's really good, but I don't think he's as broken as a lot of the cards above him. Baron Lulu, surely. I think Lulu's broken. I think Lulu's like really broken, personally. Zilean. Are you ready for the Zilean hot take, chat? I've literally said forever that Zilean was a really strong champion on his own. Because like time bombs are incredibly strong. A 1/4 body can block basically anything. And like when he dies, you can just play second Zilean. You're like pretty happy. Especially with the printing of Rite of Passage, I think that he just became stronger. I'm probably not putting him above like middle of A. I'm pretty happy throwing Zilean into like mid A. But like time bombs are just so fucking strong that like Zilean's a really strong champion. Maybe put him like bottom of A. But yeah, Zilean good. Zilean good. Azir a tad overtuned? Maybe. Mono Kaisa isn't the best Kaisa? Maybe. Hard to say. Malphite. Giga Chad Malphite. Malphite ends games. Malphite coming down ends games. But also you're kind of stuck playing Malphite, which is an issue. He forces you to run a lot of really, really bad cards in order to flip him. I think that like the Taliyah Malphite deck is hard carried by Chip and Taliyah. Like Chip and Taliyah hard carry that deck. And that deck might literally be better without Malphite in it. I'm down to throw him. I think he's fine. I'll put him like down here. I think that like he's solid on his own. Or he's solid as a card. And he like ends games, but he's not insane. Do we not put Azir in S tier? Nah, I did not. Roji's gonna kill me? Oh no. Azir's busted? I agree, Azir's really good. Irelia. Irelia got a tune. A tune is good. It is better without Malphite. It's called Ziggs Taliyah. Yeah, Ziggs Taliyah with Chip. Like there was literally Ziggs Taliyah Targon for quite a while. That was literally just Chip. That was really good. Irelia is hitting decks right now because of Azir Irelia. And like a tune makes her better. And when she flips, Irelia do be ending games. Irelia is really good in that regard. But without Sand Soldier support, she's practically fucking useless. I think I'm willing to throw her probably somewhere in like mid to upper B tier. Because I think that like when she flips, she's strong enough that like she does carry games, but she needs a lot of synergy. And like on her own, she's not good, right? Carried by Azir. I mean, Azir and Deus, right? But yeah. Why'd they give her a tune? To help her out. Because Irelia is really bad on her own. I mean, she's good when she flips, right? And that's why she's like getting the benefit of the doubt and being able to put up here is because when she flips, she is really strong. She ends games on her own. She's very difficult to deal with because you can't block her. But yeah. Possible on Irelia with Quinn or MF? Not really. It'd be like so incredibly champion dependent. It just wouldn't be good. Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai certainly is a champion that exists. Pyke. I think Pyke does fundamentally unfair things. But the nerf to where he's like a 1/3 makes him less good than he was. I think that like the last time I did this, I put Pyke in A tier. The nerf matters a lot. I think I'm down to throw him in like middle of B tier. Because I do think that he does fundamentally unfair things. But, you know, him being tied to Lurk and only having one attack definitely inhibits a lot of what he would otherwise do. Rek'Sai should be B with the same Irelia logic. Rek'Sai just, like, doesn't do anything. She doesn't flip, like, nearly as consistently as Irelia, right? And, like, she just, like, comes down into a stun. And, like, lurking Rek'Sai is cool and all. But no, Rek'Sai's not good. Rek'Sai's really just not good. Pyke's unfair because the lurk is invisible? Yeah. I mean, just, like, him turning into a good spell in hand, kind of broken. Kind of broken. Echo. I think Echo is a broken champion. I think Echo's fucking insane. The fact that he flips every single game on turn 4, doesn't have a level 1, is nuts. The fact that anytime he strikes, if he strikes once, he absolutely just generates you so much value that you're practically winning the game. I genuinely think that, like, when Zilean Echo has been really good, you know, and it's riding like this, you know, upper or like mid 50% win rate, and like it's putting like 6 people into the top cut, I think it's because of Echo. I think that like that deck on its own is probably like a 30% win rate deck. But the first time that you strike with Echo, your win rate probably goes up to like 70%. It's just so fucking insane. And there's so many decks that cannot profitably deal with Echo. I think that Echo's an insane champion. I think that the people who want Echo pulled out of Shurima are higher than a goddamn kite. Because the moment that Echo is able to exist on his own in PNZ, we're going to get Ionia Echo. And Ionia Echo, with Deny and Twin Disciplines, is going to just fucking destroy people. You do not want Echo outside of outside of Shurima. Play 0 mana card and get away with it. Yeah, 0 mana neg 1 and just like still be fine. Yeah. No, fucking Echo's insane. Echo is an insane champion. Genuinely insane. But yeah. Viego. Thanks for the follow. Reset bomb. Viego's really strong. Viego's like really strong. He gives you a ton of value. When he flips, he wins the game. He's really hard to deal with. He's just really strong. I'm down to put Viego like up here. I don't think it's like S tier, but I do think like top of A tier. I think he's like really fucking strong. You can't really win without the chrono breaks though. You definitely can, because like Voices is broken. But yeah, no, I think Viego definitely belongs up here. Yeah. Akshan is one of those champions that I just assumed would never get out of like top 3 best champions in the game, and I still stand by that. I think Akshan is just fucking broken. 2 mana 2/2 quick attack. He has good stats on curve. Plus the fucking landmark. Just a level 1 landmark on its own, drawing you a card on like turn 4, turn 5, turn 6 is like really good. And then if you end up popping the Horde, you basically win the game. Just the amount of versatility that he has, the amount of flexibility that he has, able to be splashed into so many different decks. I think Akshan's just a fucking fundamentally broken card. And I don't want him nerfed, by the way. I think that like he probably should get nerfed at some point, but I don't want him nerfed because he's like really fun. He should probably have like 10 countdown on his landmark though, or just be 1 HP. A scoundrel at a time. Yeah, no, he's fucking insane. He's actually so fucking insane. Why is Renekton S tier? If you have to ask why Renekton's S tier, I don't even know what to tell you. Akshan's both the best champion of the game and also perfectly fair and fine. He's kind of fucked up. Poppy. Poppy, once upon a time, the absolute strongest champion in the game. Nowadays, less so. She's still alright. Like, being able to buff up your board is still, like, really strong. But she just, like, isn't as much of a win con as she was previously. A lot of her decks just, like, don't exist anymore. She's still, like, good on her own. And, like, when she flips, she still ends games. But she flips a lot less often. Like, with Bard, she's solid, too, though. I think I'm down to put her, like, top of B tier. But probably not much higher. Find them S tier? Do you actually think they need to be nerfed? All the champions up here, do they need to be nerfed? Probably not. Like, I don't think that TF needs a nerf. I don't think that, like, Zoe needs a nerf. I don't think that, like, Victor needs a nerf. I don't think Echo needs a nerf. But they are really fucking strong, right? Why is Jarvan so fucking low? Do you think he belongs higher? I don't know. MF definitely doesn't need a nerf. MF might need a nerf. MF might need a nerf. Sivir might need a nerf. But yeah. Jarvan's better than some of the ones in B. I don't know. I don't think so. Caitlyn. So with the Caitlyn buff, where like her flash bombs plant in the top 8 instead of the top 10, she's a lot more consistent now. But her support fucking sucks. And like if you're putting her in your deck, she's just a 3-mana 3/3 that like sometimes kills your opponent's board, which is fine by the way, and isn't weak. I'm down to throw her in bottom of A. I don't think she's insane, but I do think she's really solid. I think she's really solid. I'm down to just toss her there. Sivir will never be 4 attack. Yeah, Sivir can't be 4 attack. If you want to nerf Sivir, you need to give her like 2 health or 1 health or I don't know. Maybe honestly 2 health Sivir. That way she can't block like literally ever. But yeah. Yeah. Caitlyn's just really good. Caitlyn's just really good. Veigar. I hate darkness so much. Veigar comes down as a 1/4 on turn 4 that kind of has to be answered instantly. And there aren't a lot of profitable answers for him. He's very similar to Azir in that regard. Except he comes down a turn slower and doesn't end the game as quickly. Veigar's a solid champion. I don't think he's A tier. I think I'm probably going to throw him like middle of B. He's fine. And, you know, if he sits on the board, then like he becomes an issue. But he doesn't generate multiple darknesses. He relies a lot on the cards around him. I think a lot of like what makes him good is just like the amount of protection that he gets with like Miscall. But yeah, I think I'm down to throw him down here. I think he's very solid. He does what he needs to do. Maybe I'll put him like right there. But yeah, make Vargar 3 mana? No. 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 Senna. I think Senna's fucking broken, dude. She has good stats. Like 5 mana 4/4 quick attack is like solid. For someone who doesn't like need to be super good in combat. Making everything fast speed is so broken. She generates darknesses every fucking turn. Anytime that darkness like gets over that hump and just starts like absolutely destroying you, they get over that hump where they just like have more removal than you can generate threats. It's because of Senna. I think Senna's like really strong. I think I'm down to throw her like middle of A. I think that she isn't strong enough for me to like throw higher than that, but I feel very comfortable putting her in like the upper echelon. She's incredibly strong. Plus, for some reason, she packs on 3 go hards instead of 4, which is fucking stupid. But yeah, Senna could be S. Absolutely, I think she's fucking broken. I wouldn't hate if the next time the darkness becomes meta. I think that Senna should eat a fucking nerf. 100%. This chick needs to eat a nerf. Been loving Tibulk Senna. Yeah. Dude, I wish Tibulk was on here. I'd love to put Tibulk in S tier. I love Tibulk so much. But yeah. Tristana. Tristana is really bad. She gets really big. And the fact that she like shares impact now is like kind of cool. But she just like doesn't even fit into her own decks. Like you would think that like the Aphelios deck would be like a Tristana deck, but it just isn't. There was like the Ionia version of Aphelios that played her, but it was begrudgingly. It wasn't happy to play her. I think Tristana is really bad. I think I'm down to throw her like, God, she's bad. Maybe down here. I could see her being better in these other ones. Because, like, she still gets really big and, like, forces blocks and, like, can eventually be a win con. But she's really bad. Yeah. Especially since, like, every single card that was printed for her, like, Tender of Terror, got fucking nerfed into the ground because it was being abused in, like, every other deck in the game. Tristana's just bad. Sion. I think Sion's still really strong. What's his tier list? Champion tier list. I think Sion still does like fundamentally broken things. Less consistently so nowadays. But like he kind of has the issue where he still comes down, flipped on turn 7, and shuts down the game. If your opponent like kind of, you know, had to attack or like relies on the attack token, it cannot go into combat anymore. Because if it does, Sion just fucking destroys you. I think I'm willing to put him like bottom of A tier. I think he's still fundamentally an incredibly strong champion that just doesn't see as much play right now. He's like less oppressive than he was, but I still think he's really fucking strong. Spellstra should be 1 turn. Maybe. I mean, champions like Sivir would get a lot worse, but maybe. Nami. Nami. Renekton S? Absolutely. I think Nami's broken. I think Nami's a fucked up champion, dude. Nami's really fucked up. She just like is so good at value game plans. She's so good at just like OTKing your opponent. She's 2 mana, and if she stays on board, you fucking lose the game. Nami's main issue, you have to run bad cards with her. You have to run really bad cards with her. That's kind of her only issue. Nami's really fucking good. Nami needs nerfing? Maybe. I don't know. It's a Nami art? It's the level 1 art. That's the level 1 Nami art. She should lose a tune. Maybe losing 1 HP. She should definitely never lose a tune. Losing a tune would just like, from a flavor and from a design standpoint, I think would be like a terrible way to approach it. But yeah. Xerath. I think Xerath is fucking broken. Like, just as a champion, I think that he's up here with like Lux and Heimerdinger, with like these champions that just generate so much value and will like absolutely blow up boards and like take down games if they're not answered like instantly. Don't chat. I know what you're thinking. You're like, Xerath broken? I don't know about that. Remember Monoshirima, okay? Just remember how fucking broken he was in Monoshirima. Yeah. No, I think Xerath is like insane. I think Xerath is like really insane. Monoshirima. Yeah. Ziggs. Ziggs is really good at what Ziggs does. Which is burn your opponent out in like an incredibly uninteractable way. I think a lot of these 2 champions' power is just in the fact that Hourglass exists and Hourglass is like broken. Ziggs just like does so much and is so hard to deal with. I think I'm happy throwing him in like middle of A. I think he's incredibly fucking good. But yeah. Why does Ziggs have 4 HP? Who fucking knows, dude? Who fucking knows? Okay. Jace. Jace is solid. Jace is like a solid card. The versatility of being able to like just be a challenger unit on like turn 4 is like really good. Plus like being his own win condition, doubling up on acceleration gate is really strong. Doubling up on like Pogger Stay or assembly line, like these are really strong cards to double up. I think Jace is good. I think Jace is really good. I think I would probably throw him like bottom of A. I think he's like fine right here. I think he's a really strong champion on his own. I don't think he's like as crushing as a lot of these other champions. But yeah, leaving him on board and letting him just like shock blast you in the face for 6 is like really strong. But yeah. Ziggs package is B. Ziggs himself is A. I mean, I think that like just the existence of Hourglass just absolutely skyrockets Ziggs. He's a fat ass. God damn. Yeah. Double up on Song Spinners, also good. It definitely can be. Kennen. Once upon a time, Kennen was a fucking S tier champion. Kennen has the issue where every single Kennen deck absolutely got fucking shit on in its consistency. When you flip Kennen's still incredibly strong. When you draw Kennen early and you like start copying him, he's very strong. He does strong things. He has a really strong champion spell. But flipping him's a lot less consistent. Drawing him is a lot less consistent. F tier? I don't think he's F tier. I really don't think he's F tier. I'm fine throwing him like bottom of C. Cause like when you do draw him and like flip him, he's still like really strong. He just lost a lot of his consistency. He's still a strong champion. Yeah, he just lost a lot of consistency. Pantheon. Whew. Pantheon. Pantheon didn't get nerfed, by the way. Pantheon's still really good. Like, as his own champion, the only thing that got nerfed was the fact that he can't hit Scout. Um, he's still really strong. He still auto wins games. Less so because he doesn't have Scout anymore. Homie Zenith nerd, do you think that Pantheon, the champion Pantheon, cared about Zenith? Hell no. Hell no. He's just a worse Kaisa. I mean, being worse than one of the best champions in the game is like a pretty okay place to be. I think I'm fine tossing him like down here. I think like bottom of 8 here. I think he's still a really strong champion fundamentally. His deck got a lot of nerfs to like make him from like a playable standpoint or like hitting like meta decks a lot worse. But I still think he's really strong. Got his attack reduction from 4 to 3. I agree, Zink. I just mean like recently. You know, since he was last in an S tier deck or a tier 1 deck, the only thing that changed was, you know, like no change to Pantheon himself. Say not getting Scout's a very big deal. I agree. I mean, like getting Scout, he's fucking up here somewhere, right? Like getting Scout, Pantheon's fucking insane. Without Scout, I think he's still really strong. But yeah, I agree, Determined. Did they remove Scout from the Pantheon pool? They did. Thank God. Thank God. Rumble. Rumble is a really hard card to deal with. Like being able to get spell shield's really good, but you pay half your hand for it. The value that he gets once you flip him is really good, but if you flip him, you've usually already won the game, right? The fact that he's able to like get spell shield at fast speed on the stack in combat is really good, but again, if you're flipping him, you probably already won the game. With Might, he's really strong and like can auto win games, but you're still giving up half your hand for him. I think that Rumble's probably down here somewhere. I think he's better than Irelia, but like probably worse than these other cards. I think that like as a card, he's still like really strong. It does really strong things, but he's not as broken as it feels like he should be. Yeah. Rumble needs 10 damage level up. 12 damage is pointless. I mean 12 damage is 2 attacks because you have impact, right? You get keywords based on Mecha Yordles made instead of discarding cards for them. Interesting. Yeah. I think that like he just fundamentally does not do the same thing that his support package wants him to, right? Which is definitely a bummer. I think he's like a design miss compared to like a lot of his support, because I think like the Mecha Yordle support is really cool. I think there's a lot of like really good cards in the Mecha Yordle support. I think Mecha Yordles themselves are really strong. But what Rumble wants to do is nowhere near what any of his support wants to do, which is a bummer. I wish Rumble was slightly different. I love Rumble, but like he's definitely down here somewhere. He's like fine, but he's not insane. Ahri. Ahri's still good. Like as her own champion, she's like good. She's hard to deal with. Bouncing stuff, like bouncing droplet when you draw droplet's good. But like very similar to Kennen, a lot of her consistency got removed. She still sees play in like Bard decks, just because being able to double up on buffs is really strong. I think I'm happy throwing her like top of B. I think top of B is like pretty nice for her. 2-2 nerf was unnecessary. Probably untrue. Probably untrue. 2-3 Ahri was really fucked up. Yeah, I think I'm down to throw her like top of B tier and feel like pretty good about that. She's not as insane as she once was. She's still like a strong champion, but like less so now. Yuumi. I think Yuumi got hurt by the Zenith Blade nerf a lot more than Pantheon did, if that could make sense. Because Yuumi relied a lot on being able to be just like tossed on any given unit and turn them into like this massive thing that like must be answered. And she does make units really big, really fast. But the fact that like these Saga Seekers and such aren't able to be like must answer units constantly definitely makes her a lot less good. I think tossing her like middle of C is like pretty alright. I think that she still does like really strong things with Faded, and like that interaction like in itself is like really strong. But she got a lot worse. She's the worst attached unit in the game. Is that true? Champion reworks when? I'm sure at some point they will. Galio. I think Galio's bad. I think Galio's like really bad. Like when he flips, he's good, but like a lot of his decks are just like so fucking slow and don't have real win conditions. Like him coming down and like buffing up your whole board is like cool, and like the fact that like he forces rallies is like cool, but he's not that great. He's like fine. He's like fine. Quick Quill is probably worse. Quick Quill is surprisingly not great. But yeah. Put him near Nautilus. He's pretty near Nautilus. Uter generates stances. And stances are really good cards. Uter himself is not great. Yeah, he's really bad. He's really bad. I think he's probably better in a lot of these champions. Maybe Lee needs to be a little bit higher. I think Lee should probably be a little bit higher. I think I was being a little bit mean to Lee earlier. But yeah, I think that's where I'd put it. Nice grok, thank you. The 2-drop is a better Udyr? True. Very true. Gunnar. Gunnar is really solid because he generates Pokesticks. The utility from Vulnerable is really good. Him getting overwhelmed and being like a target for double attack is like pretty good. He's just like a solid mid-range card. He's not nearly as insane as he once was. And honestly, I don't think he deserved the nerfs that he got. But that's a hot take. That's a hot take. Everyone hates anything Bandle City. So they're very happy they got nerfed. I think I'm down to throw him like middle of B tier. Which, by the way, B tier isn't bad champions. I think that these are all like basically good champions. Or do really strong things. But, yeah. Why so mean with Braum? Braum Gwen's a legit deck. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I think Gnar's like solid. I think Gnar is like a solid champion that does like pretty solid things. I want to put him slightly higher. And I'd play Gnar before I'd play Rumble. He's also better than like Irelia is. Yeah, I think somewhere in there. You feel pretty good. Jhin. Jhin has so much fucking text. He decimates on level up. He stuns. He pings from hand. He lets you run like this insane fucking burn deck. I think Jhin on his own is a really strong champion. Jhin has an issue where because of his limitation, being only being able to take like one region's spells definitely limits him as far as, you know, like playing anything other than a full aggro deck goes. But I think that like on his own, he's a really strong champion. I think I'm down to throw him like middle of A tier. Don't understand how Jin's so dog shit with the amount of text he has. He does really strong things. Jhin does really strong things. And also, people are fucking bad at Jhin. That's something I've noticed from watching people play Jhin, is like they don't play around his stun at all. They just like turn their brain off and they're like, oh, I'm playing a burn deck. Let me just burn my opponent out. And they like waste their stuns. People are like really bad at Jhin. But, yeah. I think Jin's strong. I think Jin's really strong. Maybe like right there. I feel pretty good about right there. Illaoi. It's funny that like Illaoi is strong and Illaoi like kills people. But I don't think Illaoi herself is that strong. I think that Illaoi gets hard carried by having like some of the best support in the entire game. I think Tentacle Smash is fucking broken. I have Nakaboros is really strong. Even like Riptide Sermon is like really good. A lot of the Illaoi decks rely on drawing Illaoi, and like when you do draw her, she does strong things. But like, for as strong as she is, I think a lot of it's her support. I think like bottom of A tier is like pretty. I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. I'm pretty happy with throwing her bottom of A tier. She's a solid champion that does what she needs to do, but she's not insane, and she kind of gets carried by having like insane support. Am I gonna upload this to YouTube? Probably. But yeah. Bard. Bard. If we're looking at Bard just as a card that you draw in your hand and look at this motherfucker, he's fucking F tier. Dude, fuck Bard. Fuck Bard. I never want to draw this motherfucker. Except except in the decks where he flips really easily and like just absolutely destroys the board. And also his champ cell is really good. And also you have to take into account that this motherfucker just like shuffles chimes in every goddamn turn for some reason. Bard's so insane. Bard is so fucking insane. God, Bard's such a stupid fucking card. I don't think he's like as fundamentally broken as the cards above him, but like I think he's close. He's like really close. Like you could make an argument for like Bard being over here, and I would like probably not disagree with you. But I think that's where I would slot him in. He's just so fucking insane. He gets slotted into any fucking region. He's so incredibly versatile. He turns like your most fucking dog shit, awful toilet bowl cleaner deck on the planet. It makes it playable. That's a tier 2 deck. You know? That's a tier 2 deck. You know, I just okay, what if we played mono Bilgewater? Okay. Mono Bilgewater, and you know, we just like slam in Illaoi and we have like no interaction. Well, that sounds terrible. Okay, but what if we threw Bard in there? That's a deck. That's a tier 1 deck. That's like the best deck in the game right now. What's up with that? What if we played Renekton in Mono Shurima and just like, I don't know, try to like kill your opponent. Just like this Renekton aggro deck. I don't know, it sounds really bad. What if we threw Bard in there? That's a deck. That's a real ass deck. I don't know, man. Bard's just so fucking stupid. Bard's so fucking stupid. Annie. Annie's really good. Annie's really good, but like without being broken, you know? She provides so much utility to the decks that she's in. You can't block her. Tibbers is like a really good card, but also she's like useless on defense. She gets eaten up by like just any sort of challenger unit. Flipping her can be hard. I think Annie's really strong. I think that like I'm happy throwing her in like the upper half of A. But she has weaknesses. And honestly, I love her design. I love the way that Annie exists in this game because I think that she's very fair. I think Annie's incredibly fair while being really strong. I love Annie. I love Annie. Annie's what we call a fair card. Yeah, like a fair card that's also really strong though. Evelynn. I think that a lot of content creators and a lot of the stats would make you think that Evelynn is F tier. Dog shit, unplayable, can't hit any deck in the game, literally the worst champion on the planet. I think she's a lot better. I think she's a lot better than people give her credit for. I don't think she's F tier. I think that she does really broken things. I think a lot of her support is really good. She is kind of hampered by being a Runeterran champion. And, you know, because of that only having one region to pair her with, like, definitely hurts you. I think she does really strong things, though. I'm down to throw Evelynn, like... Here's my hot take, chat. I think that Evelynn, at some point in the very near future, is going to be an incredibly broken card that hits like an incredibly broken deck that everybody's going to complain about. I think that this is sort of like the Xerath. If you weren't here for the last time I did a tier list, I called that Xerath was like a fucking broken A+ tier champion, and everybody flamed the fuck out of me. They're like, nah, man, Xerath is so fucking bad. Xerath is so bad. And then Xerath became playable in a deck, and suddenly we're like, holy shit, Xerath has been a broken fucking card for a long time. I think Evelynn does fundamentally broken things that will probably hit a very high tier deck very soon and will probably be an absolutely nuts card. I feel pretty good throwing her in like middle of A tier. I think she's a fucking disgusting card. A really disgusting card. But yeah. Took him on streaming to get a lot of buffs. No, like Zillion Xerath was also really good. But yeah. What if they gave Evelynn regen? I don't think you want them to. Here's the other thing, chat. I don't think you want them to buff Evelynn ever. I don't think that you ever want this card to be playable. If this card hits a tier 1 deck, it's going to be incredibly fucking cringe, incredibly fucking toxic. You don't want this card to be playable. But I think this card's fucking broken. Kaisa. I didn't mean to move you, Quinn. Kaisa is really strong. Kaisa's really strong. Even without the sharp sight bug, you can like evolve on turn 3. She always comes down flipped. She's in Shurima, so she has a ridiculous amount of protection. Her champion spell's incredibly good. You have to kill her instantly on sight. She can copy any keywords. So like she turns Valor into like a fucking insane must-kill champion. You slap lifesteal on her, she's broken. You slap people are playing fucking Silverwing Diver, the Demacian elusive tough unit, not because it's good. It's still a dog shit card. But people are playing it because copying those keywords with Kaisa, kind of nuts. Kaisa, I consistently forget that she has a skill on her level 2 because it feels like everything she's doing is like strong enough. She's like really fucking good. And then you go into combat and it's like, oh, actually she's also, just side note, gunning down your entire goddamn board. Kaisa's fucking insane for like no reason. For no reason. And like the fact that even if you kill first Kaisa, she grants everywhere. God, Kaisa's such a dumb fucking card. I think she's like top of S tier, man. I think she's like top of S tier. I think she's so insane. I think from like a versatility standpoint, I don't know if I can put her above like TF in like good conscience. But just like the amount of lethality that she has is so fucking insane. Yeah, I don't know. She's so insane. You can't evolve on 3. You absolutely can't evolve on 3. You absolutely can't evolve on 3. The Force Shreem and S tier, dear God. Posted a Kaisa meme. Let me look. Wait, where is it? Oh my God. I know what they are. I know how to destroy them. Also, she's homophobic, which, I mean, that's honestly, that's her biggest sin, chat. That's her biggest sin. She's also the fucking homophobic dog. And we all know it. Yeah, no, I think Kaisa's insane. Gwendolyn hasn't really found her spot in the game yet. She's not... I think that like 2 weeks ago, I put out a video where I thought that Gwendolyn was like probably the strongest card, the strongest champion that we've ever seen printed. And I still think she's really strong. I think that we are absolutely going to find a shelf for her where she just like becomes this tier 1 menace. She does really strong things. But also because she's in SI, I think she's a lot more fair than I expected her to be. If she was like a Shuriman champion, she'd be fucking S tier, by the way. Actually fucking S tier. I think I'm willing to throw her like middle of A tier. I think she's still really strong, but she's relatively fair. And I would expect that in like 2 months, we're probably going to consider her an S tier champion. But at the moment, with our current understanding of her, she's like mid A tier. You know, Gwen Shurima would literally be an S tier champion. Should we actually move Renekton, chat? What do you think? What do you guys think? Should we move Renekton? Here, I'll make a poll. I'll make a poll. Should we actually rank Renekton? No, of course not. He's S tier. Yep. He's S tier. Yes. Do it for posterity. All right. There you go. You have 2 minutes, Chuck. Get in there, vote. The poll's a ban bait. So like honest thoughts about Renekton. I think Renekton's okay. I think Renekton's like fine. He's a really good target for buffs. He's a very good aggressively slanted champion. Realistically, I think that our boy should probably end up somewhere in like B tier. Probably like low B tier. I think he's like probably like right in here somewhere. I think he's fine. I think he's like fine. He definitely has issues though. He has issues in that like if you aren't winning with like 1 or 2 strikes, he's very vulnerable to removal. He's not one of the Shuriman champions that really benefits from like Hourglass because he wants to stay in combat. And Hourglass pulling him out of combat's like kind of a major issue. Slapping double attack on him is really good. I think that like realistically, our boy's probably down here. I don't know, he might be a little bit lower. I think I might have given like Nocturne a little bit too much credit. Yeah. Maybe somewhere in here. I think he's like solid. I think he's really solid. But he's not like a broken champion. Yeah. Give him Fury. I wanted to give him Fury. I think that'd be cool. Nocturne gets boosted by Winding Light. I mean, Nocturne as his own champion's really strong though, right? Like giving Fearsome to everything is like really strong. Okay, chat. Here's your chance. Are there any grievances? Is there anybody that you feel like I have been unfair to? Or needs to get put higher up or lower down? What do you think, chat? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm zooming out a little bit so that you guys can see everything. Is Soraka really that good? I think Soraka as a champion, the amount of draw that she gets is so insane. I think that like she is the only reason that like any sort of Starspring deck will ever be playable. It's just because of like how much value she gives you. Soraka's really good. Shyvana too low? I think so. Bard too high? I don't think so. Darius too high? And Darius hits decks, and like nothing else below him like actually hits decks. He's like fine. He probably is a little bit too high. He's probably a little bit too high. I could see it. Swain and A. Swain has issues. Like dropping Swain for 5 mana, he doesn't do enough when he comes down. He's just like really slow. And like Leviathan, like Levy Lock is really cool and can win games. I think Swain is really cool. But yeah, I think he's just kind of slow. Lucian C tier? I don't think so. Jinx from Arcane's easily higher. I don't think so. I think that she just has like fundamental issues that like make her practically unplayable. Why does Lilian Xerath's deck have a low win rate if they're 8s here? I mean, a deck's win rate oftentimes is more dependent on like the meta around it than like its own power level, unless it's like broken, right? And like, didn't Prodigy literally just hit rank 1 with Zillion Xerath like 2 days ago? I think Zillion Xerath's good. What does ASOL need to be relevant? The game probably needs to slow down. The game probably needs to slow down. Vlad's too high? Oh yeah? You think Vlad's too high? Maybe. Isn't Jinx in some decks? Yeah, toilet bowl cleaner. Elise is honestly S. Elise is like really good, but she's not broken, you know? I think that like every single S tier champion is like broken. Like really broken. No, I like my Elise rating. Quinn and C. No, I think Quinn's really good. TK's toxic as shit. Oh yeah, TK's incredibly toxic as a champion. Tryndamere's F. He hits decks though. Yeah, maybe he deserves to be lower. Not much lower, though. I don't think he's F. Went too hard on Diana. You think she's better than Leona? I think that Diana just doesn't do enough for, like, what champions need to do in the current game. I think that, like, she can do strong things. Oh, yo, Puffball Panda with the raid? Yo, what's up, Puffball Panda? You're just in time to get in here and air your grievances, if you have any, with our absolutely 100% factual tier list. Wait. Actually, my bad. If Puffball Panda's here, I take it back. So lesbians, S tier. S tier champions, they're actually broken. Elise is A. Elise is really good. Caitlyn's high A. I think I'm pretty happy with where Caitlyn's at. What the fuck, Yasuo? What's up, Jason? Think Anivia's higher than Udyr? Maybe. They're both practically unplayable. What tier list is this for? Champion power level. Lissandra S tier? Yeah. Lissandra's fucking fundamentally broken. Elise is B max. No, Elise just fits into so many different decks. She's so versatile. She's just so incredibly good at what she does. She's not insane. She's very fair. But I think that, like, she's really good. Poppy goes to C. I think Poppy's good. Soraka's too high. I think people fundamentally, I don't know. Everyone sleeps on how broken Soraka is. Soraka draws you so many cards and does so much for her archetype. I think Soraka is genuinely an insane card. And if she wasn't held back by the archetype that she's in, she'd be much higher. Echo S tier? Yeah, I think Echo's fucking broken. Fizz to S? I don't think so. I think Fizz is really strong. If we're judging like Papercraft, I think Papercraft Dragon's an S tier champion. But I think Fizz is very good at what he does, but he's not like insane. Lisa moved to B. I think I'm pretty happy with her reset. But yeah. There's no self-damage in the game, though? That's just not true. For her to flip, though, without the whole Turbo Thrall package, and she has nothing unless she's flipped. I mean, she comes down, is a great blocker, has a great stat line, is very hard to deal with, and she generates you a Thrall. Lissandra's broken. Put Lucian C tier. I think that's giving Lucian too much credit. I think Lucian does, like, broken things, but I think that he's, like, just close to unplayable. Which is funny. Lux is insane. I agree. I could, like, I don't know. Like, I could be argued for, like, moving these top 5 just into S tier. I could, like, genuinely be, like, feel pretty good about moving these top 5 into S tier. I might throw them into S tier. Any room for Sejuani to A? I think Sejuani's just, like, I think Sejuani's a really strong champion. I think Sejuani's really strong. And I think top of B is, like, really strong champions, by the way. Like, to be clear, like, B isn't bad. B's, like, good. And, like, top of C is, like, fine, right? I think Heimer's better than Lux. I think Lux is nuts. Lulu's not S tier? I think Lulu's fucking insane. Lulu's, like, really strong. Ezreal B tier is harsh. He just flips so late now. Aaron Katarina is super F tier? Yes. Viego's best card in the game when flipped? I mean, Viego's not even the best flipped champion in the game. Come on. I would rather have flipped Asol or flipped TF. Like, just hands down. Viego's not even the best flipped champion in the game. Why is Teemo B? Because he's super solid. He's super solid at what he does. J4 C tier, you put him in B, to be honest? Honestly, it's funny, because I thought I was being nice putting him in C tier. I think that, like, I was probably pushing up, like, a little bit. I think he's, like, super solid. Especially with Broadwing, I think that, like, he flips a lot more consistently now, and, like, he's able to outgrind games. I think Jarvan's, like, super solid. But yeah. Can we rate level 2 champions? S is for shit, A is for ass, B is for bad, C is for crap, F is for fail. You'd rather have flipped Lucian? Flipped Lucian's pretty nuts. But yeah. No, honestly, I feel pretty good about this. I think I feel pretty good about this list. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I feel good about it.